welcome back to more Let's Play The Legend of Spyro: A New Beginning. In the last episode, we learned the joys of pushing things everywhere! And apparently exploding. Exploding is a joy too, for some, probably. I mean, there's definitely some people out there who just love explosions, but the actual act of you yourself exploding, I'm not sure that's necessarily a great thing. You wouldn't even get to appreciate your amazing explosion, because you would be dead. Unless somehow you could live through exploding, which some Pokemon can. I wonder how they feel about exploding. The Pokemon, I mean, like, does it actually hurt them, or what? I mean, it hurts them, they faint. It's like, that's a bad thing. They probably shouldn't explode, ever. It's inhumane to Pokemon. In Pokemon. Aw, Cinder, you were so close to eating him.
Freaking out.
You're breaking up with me?
Nidus is waiting.
I thought what we had was special! Now I'm really upset you didn't get eaten. Also, seriously, Cinder, what is your goal? Like, you haven't done anything really in this game except... Well, except... For the most part, half of what you do is just fly around and cause little tiny scares. And nothing else. Hello. Push, 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 push. I love it. It's never getting old. And it's so useful, too. That's the best part of it. It's not just, like, a fun thing. It's a useful fun thing. That's the best kind of mechanic you can ever have in any game. Something that's incredibly fun and also ridiculously useful. Like, that's how you design a mechanic in a game. Like... There's no better way to do it. Make something fun and useful, and bam, you've got the best thing in the game. Although, you probably don't want to make it too cheap, because, I mean, for certain things. Like, if it's too cheap, then make it, like, a bonus or an optional thing. Kind of like, say, the best thing I'm thinking of is, like, an infinite rocket launcher in Resident Evil games. At least, I know it's in Resident Evil 4, and I think 5? I don't know, I've never played them. I've only ever seen them. But it's like, that's an incredibly useful thing and it's incredibly fun, just blow everything up. But it's like, it's kind of a cheap thing, so they make it like an end of the game or like a really expensive thing, so it's like, I feel like that's another good thing. It's like, make that a reward, something that you can just really like, screw around with and have fun, and like, that would be great. But something like this where it's not necessarily more overpowered than anything else, it's just really fun and still about as useful as everything else, like, that's great. There is definitely a balance that you need to accomplish, and this definitely, I feel, accomplishes that balance. And more overpowered things just make them more optional and more out of the way, and that's great. There's a balance to all of this sort of thing. And then there's things like electricity, which are just nigh on useless. Or, for a better example, the bubble breath in Enter the Dragonfly. That was, like, completely useless. Except for, you know, doing anything in the game, but still. It was pretty useless. I love the knockback that this thing has. It's like... It's so good with how it stuns opponents. It's great. Yeah. I'm still feeling like I feel like this would have been a better, like, TV show or something. Or... I might say movie, but I don't know, I feel like a TV show would allow for, like, more interesting things. Sometimes I feel like that's the case, like, say, ignoring how just flat-out bad it is, like, think of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then The Last Airbender movie, like, The Last Airbender movie, no matter how good it was, it never would have been as good as the TV show, because what was so good about the TV show was that there was so much time you could dedicate to just... side things, more characterization. Like, the movie needs to focus on a lot more of the action-y stuff, so it's like, well, I mean, it had too much exposition anyway, but like, this is pretending that the movie was good. Like, pretending that the movie was as good as it possibly could have been, it would have been the cartoon! Like, the cartoon was great because it had so much time to focus on all of that stuff. Like, it had free episodes, it could afford to do that. It could have filler episodes. You know, the filler episodes were stupid, like The Great Divide. Like, they could have that. They had the time to devote to that. Whereas a movie just flat out doesn't. And that's a problem. And so it's like, creating a movie adaptation of something like that just doesn't work the way that at least fans might want. And that's why book adaptations are so tough too, because like, the problem with book adaptations for movies is that books, you can get inside the characters' heads. There's so much detail. A lot of things that flat out can't be in movies. So it's like, people want to see that, and that they can't get that because movies are just a completely different medium. So in a way, I almost feel like there's different things are more suitable for other things. And in a way, books or TV shows becoming movies rarely really ever works. At least not without major changes to make it a better adaptation. Something that comes to mind for me is The Legend of the Guardians. Owls of Ga'Hoole, if anyone's ever seen that. Because I'm a big fan of both the movie and the books. And, like, they leave so much out. They change so much in the movie. It's like, it's a completely different thing. And I still like it, but it's like, and I know they had to change a lot of things. There were some things that they changed just because, for no real reason, and I don't like that, but like, a lot of the story aspects is like, I get it, it's a movie, they don't have the time of basically the movie adapted the first 3 books in the series of 15 books, plus 3 side books. So it's like, they had to change some things, obviously. Like, the books aren't that long, but they still modified things. And it's like, they incorporated elements from later books, like the villain of the movie. And they changed some things. It's like, they changed a lot, though, to make it a better fit for a movie, and that works. So it's like, if you're going to have a book or a TV show that gets turned into a movie, you can't keep it that faithful. Like, there's gonna be a lot of changes that happen. And I feel like some people tend to forget that, actually. Some people just want to see what they like as a movie, but it's like, you can, at least for a TV show, you already have what you want. You have the TV show. So there's no need to make it into a movie. Not really. As far as books goes, a TV show's probably better for a book. I don't watch it, but isn't Game of Thrones like a book that's been a book series that's been adapted into a TV show? That works, because like then you can't exactly get into characters' heads as well, but you can at least focus on all the details that are in the books without like worrying about cutting stuff out as far as movies goes. I don't know how well Game of Thrones does it because I don't watch it and I don't really care that much. I have a hard time getting into live action stuff, and also I have a hard time getting into TV shows. Like, there's a lot of good TV shows out there, like cartoons. I love cartoons. Like, I have a hard time just like being like, oh, I'm gonna spend some time and watch this thing. It's like, there's so many good things out there that I just don't ever watch just because it's like I don't feel like I ever really have the time. So it's kind of weird to me to be talking about that. Anyways, as I was saying, it's like, I don't watch Game of Thrones, so I don't know how well it does it, but it's like, making it a TV show based on a book rather than a movie based on a book definitely will give it more opportunities to like keep it as faithful as it possibly can to the books. Whereas making it a movie would inevitably cause disparities and problems, and like, they would really need to change it. The way to kind of get around that is to kind of make it like The Hobbit, where it was like one book got turned into 3 movies, but that's also, number one, a kind of silly thing, and also, apparently, from what I've been told, The Hobbit wasn't even that good of an adaptation. Like, they worked fine as movies, although the 3rd one was not that good. I never read the books of any of the Lord of the Rings, actually, or The Hobbit, but it's like, apparently, from what I've been told, like, the first movie is pretty good at keeping it faithful, but the 2nd and the 3rd are kind of screwy. And it's like, as far as movies go, they work fine, but as far as adaptations go, they screw a lot of stuff up. So that's kind of an interesting thing to note. It's like, even if you split it up into 3 movies, like, movieisms will take over and kind of hurt the adaptation part of it. Unless, I guess, you're just really good, but I mean, then that's also probably partially Hollywood's fault. I don't know, I don't pay attention to movies too much, so I'm probably just making stuff up at this point. Oh no, you saw me! What does that mean? You're just gonna freak out on me, Mr. Spider? What the heck are these things? Like, is there an explanation for this? They're just like living crystal orb things with spider electric legs. That's very silly. And they're just named Conduit. What are they a conduit of? Aren't, like, conduits, like, something that is used to power something else? I don't know. Now, they keep creating more of these things. How many of them are there? I'm out of things to talk about again. I want to talk about stuff, but you're not giving me anything. You're not even giving me music to listen to. You're just giving me There's music. And by music, I mean a couple of notes played atmospherically. That it? Alright. My guess is that these 2 are going to be the last 2. Actually doesn't seem to be very effective on them. I wonder if lightning would be effective on these guys if I had powered it up ever. Because, I mean, like, they're made of lightning, so maybe lightning would screw them up. Although, alternatively, lightning could also power them up, which would be a bad thing. It could be like golems or something. Oh my god, how many of these things are there? You would think that Earth might be better against... I just died! That guy just, like, destroyed me for some reason. Whatever. I guess taking on 2 of them at once isn't a good thing, but I didn't even really see myself getting hurt. I just suddenly died instantly. That was weird. Whatever. I really hope that this is almost done. Like, this is basically the entire game anyway, but still, it's like... It's nice to at least have changes of scenery to make you feel like you're progressing more. Whereas just fighting the same enemies over and over and over again in the same exact spot, guess that takes a repetition up to an entirely new level. And it's annoying. Finally! Alright, what do we got going forward? More baboons. Don't know what I expected. Fatu Home lost tier. That first name doesn't really fit with the second name. Push, 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 push. I really like the visual aesthetic of this world. Like,
Ignitus needs us.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it would be easier if she was smaller. A lot smaller.
I can't really hear what Sparks is saying. Look at this place. Like, even for 2000, it's not amazing for 2006 graphics, but it's like, it still looks nice for the style. Like, I really like this place so far. Like, visually, it's definitely foreboding, and I appreciate that. It's like, the game hasn't been too focused on its dark tone that much. Like, it's definitely been darker than the classic Spyros, but it's hasn't been too heavy on it. But this, for this place, I think it definitely works, and I don't get any of that guy's gems. I'm disappointed. Oh no, I do get the guy's gems. That's neat. I didn't actually know that happened. I was complaining about that earlier, and now I know what happens. Now I feel stupid. At least for guys falling off it, now I know what happens. Oh, I can push these guys into the lightning. I don't know if that actually killed him or not, actually. Because it didn't seem to kill that other guy. Oh well. Here, have a bomb. Oh, it went that way. I don't know why it did that, but whatever. I guess it's kind of a different kind of barrier. Rather than an elemental barrier, it's more like a physical thing. I don't know. I don't know how the game treats it. Oh, there's an invisible wall anyway, so I can't hurt him anyway. Alright. Blade lizard. You're not a lizard. You are a monkey. You are a baboon. Monkeys are not lizards. So that's why I killed you. How do they power this, like, lightning anyway? Like, this is kind of like a medieval, like, fantasy setting. So it's like... I mean, I guess it's magical. Whatever. Well... You know what? I'm never gonna use it elsewhere. I don't want to deal with you. Really? That didn't kill you? What's the use of that move then, if it doesn't even kill that guy? It's literally just to kill a bunch of enemies around you? Like, you can do that regardless. If it doesn't instantly kill the most annoying variety of enemies, like, what's the purpose of it? That bugs me now. Whatever. I'm just gonna jump down. Alright. Well, I missed that guy. Panther Dreamer? Whoa! I don't... TMI, buddy. TMI. I don't want to know about your kinks. I don't know about you, what you dream about. That's not good. I don't want to. Oh good, more of these stupid guys. Oh no, you saw me. How dare you? It would be funny if they had like the Metal Gear Solid like whang! You know, is it weird that the first time I ever heard of Metal Gear Solid was when Snake got introduced to Super Smash Bros. Brawl? Like, I know I'm not a Sony guy, I've already said that plenty of times, but like, I still knew Sony franchises, but it's like, I had never heard of Metal Gear until that point. It's like, it's just weird to me that such a major franchise just went completely unnoticed to me. Like, I knew other Sony franchises, so it wasn't just like, I never played the game as a kid. Plus, it was on the GameCube, too. Like, Metal Gear Solid 2, I think, was on the GameCube, as well as the first one? I don't know. But it's like, they were there, on the GameCube. So it's like, it's surprising to me that the first time I ever heard of Snake, like, when he got announced for Brawl, I was like, who the hell is this guy? So it's like, that's kind of weird to me. Tear Raven. Why would you ever tear a Raven? What have ravens ever done for you? Aren't ravens even normally considered like, oh, they're kind of like a symbol of bad or something? Because I mean, like they're dark birds. So I feel like that's at least for crows in a way. They're generally associated with that kind of thing. Like, didn't Maleficent have crows or ravens or something? I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen Sleeping Beauty. Definitely didn't see the new, recent Maleficent movie. The rest into this. You now have the Fury of Kytheros' Wrath of Nature. Okay. Let's get the ice one, too, while we're at it. God, I have a lot of experience points right now. You now have the Fury of Perisher's Unending Blizzard. Alright, and I guess I'll put the rest of this into Lightning, because I have nothing else to put it into now. That's how worthless Lightning is. It's literally the last thing I've put stuff into. How am I doing on time? That was just a weird random flash. I might be actually running low on time for this episode, so I guess... Yeah, next time on Let's Play Legend of Spyro, we'll continue on Cinder's Fortress. See you guys then.